Hi, I'm Toni Martin and I work at RHS Wisley as a botanist. My job title is Herbarium Curator / plant collector. So I go out into the gardens and gardens across the UK and collect plants. We try to collect a representative sample of the plants that we're collecting. So this involves stems, leaves, flowers or fruit, depending on the season. I've produced collecting lists that are targeted, so we collect within the RHS but also outside partners. So we've been working with the National Trust along with other national collection holders in order to collect plants of every variety. Once we've collected the specimens, we bring them back to the lab, we dry them, we press them, and then we document them ready to go into the herbarium forever. The details we record are the dimensions of the plant, the scent, and also the colour. The colour is the most important feature for us because we're focused on cultivar level. The major difference between cultivated plants is colour. We categorise the colours using the RHS colour chart, which is made up of 4 panels, essentially covering every colour you can think of. It reminds me a little bit of the Pantone colours. It's so important to record colour because on drying, our specimens lose colour. And that's not only because they turn brown, as most people would think, it's also because plants contain really unique plant proteins. And on drying, these change colour. So recently I pressed a Hibiscus syriacus purple pillar, which is a beautiful sort of pale pink flower with a dark red centre. On pressing, it came out the dryer and it was dusky blue. So you never would have known that it was pink once before unless you'd recorded it in life. From an early age, I always loved being outdoors. I loved being in the garden, digging up the plants, and also just drawing flowers. While I was studying my RA level, I really enjoyed drawing plants, so I wanted to go into microscopic detail, and that's how I sort of stumbled into botanical illustration. It's super focused on recording all the important parts of the plant, and it's almost like a scientific reference drawing. When I was looking to apply to university, I really wanted something that incorporated sort of both my passions, and I found botany absolutely fascinating. Biology by this point was something that was super important to me, and I could see such a clear research path within it. So I did my undergraduate in plant science, which I absolutely loved, but it was very molecular focused, and by the time I kind of finished, I was ready to get my hands dirty and start doing something a bit more hands-on. And so I sort of chanced upon a master's degree at Kew Gardens. My master's was in plant and fungal taxonomy, diversity and conservation, so a completely niche subject. My master's project was on the thermal properties of seeds. I started to think, oh, where could I access some seeds? So I looked at the RHS, and it wasn't long after that I applied and started in April 2022. What makes it so special about working here is our amazing collection, both living and preserved. Wisley's herbarium is the largest and only UK herbarium focused on cultivated plants. A lot of work has been done on classifying the diversity of wild plants, but by comparison, we've only scratched the surface of cultivated plant diversity. So our herbarium was purpose-built. It currently houses about 90,000 specimens with the strategic aim to reach 400,000 specimens by 2050. So the 400,000 that I'm talking about is an approximation of the UK cultivated plant diversity. My position was created to fulfill this really ambitious aim. Essentially, we need to have more material coming into our herbarium. I work in the Horticultural Taxonomy department, which is made up of a whole range of disciplines, botanists, curators and registrars. I also have a team of volunteers that are helping me out with my collecting programme, and our team is expanding out into the other gardens across the RHS. I love my job because I get to see something new every single day. As both a scientist and artist, I'm constantly inspired by what I'm seeing. My job is continually evolving, so as the seasons change, so do the plants I collect. I also love the fact that my job is literally growing every day. New cultivars are being produced all the time, and it's really awesome to be involved in documenting them. I think in this time of climate change, it's really important that we're recognising the wealth of diversity that's around us. After all, how can we protect what we have in the world when we don't know what's out there? Our herbarium not only acts as a facility for research, but also as a historical record for the future. I think it's the combination of all these facts, along with the incredible support from my team, that makes my work so rewarding. I feel incredibly fortunate to have come to the RHS so early on in my career.